Hey fam, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. I just woke up. Working nights eats my mornings. Well, it doesn't eat my mornings. I choose to let it eat my mornings. It's not that it's a complicated job. I am old and resting is something I'm not used to making myself do. It sucks when you have to make yourself actually stay in bed and get a little more sleep, or make yourself not get up and try to run a rat race. But it's very important. And I never saw that until I started this journey. Speaking of this journey, Spirit, I had an awesome day yesterday. I got laundry done, told you about it. I felt a little accomplished. Then I went to work and some amazing things happened. And now I say they're amazing because in my world, you don't see stuff like this very often. And when and the first thing that happened, God shows up. And I'm a cashier, okay? So, no biggie. But the first thing that happened last night, let me dive into it. Now, in this town, certain elected officials are very, very popular. And I was at my register, and this itty bitty short lady comes through, and all she wants is a little wall charger. And I couldn't believe it's like $14 for this little plug-in, to put your phone charger in. And she specifically asked if it didn't work, could she bring it back? And I'm like, well, yeah, no big deal. And then she leaves. She comes right back in. She says, well, it didn't work. So I come out from behind the counter to look for another one. And I tell her, before I get into investigating her situation very much, I tell her that, I have a plug-in behind the thing. We'll find out, make sure it's getting power and stuff before she gets another one. Well, come to find out, it was a C to Apple charger, and she had picked out the wrong one. Now, she was an older lady. No big deal. I know how this feels. So, the one she had, it's not that it didn't work. It just didn't work for her charger. So, immediately, me coming out from behind the counter, this is God here, I'm telling you. Me coming out from behind the counter, I see the one that she needs. I plug her phone into it, show her the difference. But because I saw a cord that was sitting there with a USB on it, and I show her the difference. All right. Then I hear her say something about, my stress just can't take much more of this. Anyway, she says, do I have to do anything? I said, no, baby, we just switching them out. Go ahead and have yourself a good evening. Well, the woman that had come in right whenever this was happening knew the lady I was helping. And turns out she used to be the coroner for this town. I've met her at her job, which means we didn't meet under the best of circumstances. And whenever I was told who she was, that blew me away, because the last time I saw this woman is whenever I was with my mama when she died. And I was 18 years old, and I was scared to death and alone for the first time that I can remember. I mean, not neglected, but, my mom died. It was just me and her for 17 and a half years. And this woman, my grandmother was off over here hollering that my stepdaddy had to have done it, blah, 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 blah. And there was a lot of pressure, and all I remember was I needed to make damn sure how my mother died. Because she seemed fine one minute, and then the next she wasn't. And she was gone. And this coroner, she told me, she said, baby, your mama should have been gone a long time ago. There was the way she lived. Years of drinking and drugging had took its toll on her. She was diabetic too. She said, this is natural. She says, she walked me through all of the preliminary examination. That means we pulled my mother out of the closet. She walked me through everything she had done to come to this conclusion, because she knew by what I had told her about this grandmother over here that couldn't face watching her daughter go through this. So her daughter's doctor had to do it. She knew what I was, and it eased my mind as well. But it was really a help. And I don't even know if I ever got to say thank you. But she walked through the tissue and the fluid and all the stuff that they do in the preliminary examination before an autopsy, which they never had to do. All right. Then the lady that knew this doctor, when the doctor left, and she said that her stress couldn't take it, that statement didn't dawn on me until this other customer walks up and she says, "You know who that was?" She said she used to be the coroner for this town. I said, "That's Miss?" And she said, "Yeah." I'm not going to say her name on here because, most people will know who she is. And, y'all, the doctor had just found her son at his house dead. Now, that's why she said her stress couldn't take much more. And I got out from behind that counter and I made this one little minute thing in her life that, as y'all know, when you're stressed out and you got major shit going on, the little things can become mountains in a minute. And I've never lost a child before, but it's one of my worst fears now that everybody else in my family's gone. The one thing that I fear more than anything is getting that call that something's done happened to one of my babies. And because I have suffered the traumas of death and destruction, I'm the matriarch of my family. So what do you think that would do to me? That might be something old Star here might not come back from. You feel me? So anyway, I was blown back. I had to take a second before I could even, touch the register anymore. Because then I asked, "Okay, God, why did you put that in front of me?" Then I didn't. I just went on and I'm like, "Well, thank you, God. Please be with her." A lot of people keep stuff like that private, so, it's not like, But I came out from behind the counter and I actually handled this woman with what she was having to go through. Took the time, with other people waiting, took the time to make it make sense for her. And I didn't even know what she was going through. And she was going through one of the most horrific things as a coroner that she could go through. Bless her heart. So, y'all say a prayer for her, okay? God be with her. Because the difficulty doesn't stop when the funeral's over. To find out that she just, and I'm assuming within days to hours before my encounter with her, had lost her own child. Her child that they spoke on a regular basis, said we're like best friends. All right, second thing. I'm running out of time. Second thing that happened was a old friend of mine come in, and he was having trouble with his debit card. And so I didn't want to void the whole thing out because that would have took more time. Well, the lady that was standing behind him, I guess, was listening to this whole thing. She paid. She said, "Just add it to my stuff." I said, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Bless your heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much." And the boy didn't even know it. The boy, we had to tell him. He wasn't even paying attention. He was trying to figure out what in the hell was wrong with his card. Third thing. Now, I don't know why Spirit showed me this, but I was back home after work scrolling, and somebody asked, years ago, did the channels actually go off the air? And when they did, the anthem the national anthem would come on. This, as a child, would terrify me. I mean, like booger ghost terrify me. And then I remembered the ending theme to The Incredible Hulk did too. So God showed up for me yesterday pretty big, and I'm still trying to figure out why. So until next time, you got this. You're not alone. We're going through this together. I love you.